Hey movie fans, happy Valentine's Day. So, I've been taking your suggestions for videos to do this week, and so one of the top comments was, do one for the ladies. So this one is for you ladies. Men, this also applies to you. Ever have that problem of finding a movie that both the women and the men can enjoy? Women, this is no secret to you, but we men really cannot stand sappy movies. We aren't huge fans of Hallmark, we're not huge fans of really sappy rom-coms. Now, I don't speak for all of mankind, thank goodness. But I think that's pretty much true across the board, that you tend to like romantic comedies more than we do. This is the one day that we watch them with you guys because we love you. So, what movies can we watch together that we will both like and not just The Notebook? I'll be looking at the top 5 romantic movies that tend to be a little bit more gender neutral. So, the men and the women can enjoy them together, and the men don't want to rip their eyes out. Without further ado, at number 5, we have Hitch. Remember way back when Will Smith had a thing called a career, before that, and before all the horrible missteps and that, we had a great comedy known as Hitch. Now, Hitch kind of is a guy version of a chick flick. It centers around a man's troubles finding a woman. Now, it could be both a romantic comedy or bro-com. Both men and women can appeal to this because it takes both perspectives. It takes the perspective of 3 characters. Now that I think about it, you have Kevin James as the one that is the client to Will Smith. Will Smith also trying to find love, and the woman that is in love with Will Smith, but they don't seem to be on the same page for most of the film, just like any other romantic comedy. It's a nice even balance for both the men and the women, as opposed to just getting the woman's perspective. Moving on from Hitch, we have Fever Pitch. Now, Fever Pitch is one of my all-time favorite baseball movies, and I'll be doing the top 5 best baseball movies when it gets closer to opening day, as that was also another highly suggested video. Now, the premise of Fever Pitch appeals to both men and women because it deals very heavily with the Boston Red Sox. And what comes first? Love for a person or love for a team? It has fantastic chemistry with Jimmy Fallon and not Drew Carey. That would have been a very different movie. Drew Barrymore. They play off each other incredibly well, and that helps make the movie more believable. But one of the big factors in my enjoyment of the film, and I think why most people like the movie as a romantic comedy, is that unlike so many other romantic comedies before it, this one uses the element of time. All other romantic movies are basically the guy and girl fall in love within a week and it's supposed to last for a lifetime. That's not real life. This one, they have to survive a whole baseball season together. And they're Red Sox fans. So that's like 2 seasons in Red Sox years. Fun fact, actually, without going into spoiler details, the original ending was going to be considerably different than what it is in the film. The original script called for the Red Sox to lose yet again, and that's what makes Ben end up with her in the end, because he'll have her for eternity, even if the Red Sox don't win. But, as we all know, in 2004, the Red Sox broke the curse, so they actually had to go back and reshoot a whole bunch of scenes for the ending and rewrite the script, because who would have thought the Red Sox actually won? This movie portrays a more accurate look at relationships, and as a nice jab to sports fans in general, especially Red Sox fans. It's not demeaning to people that like romance or sports. It appeals to both of them because it provides a more realistic look, and that's what makes it a more entertaining movie. It can either be a sports movie or a romance movie, and that's why it's such a good and funny film. At number 3, we have the tearjerker of the list, Up. Now, Disney has their fair share of romance, and this one I went with because it seemed the least sappy, even though that opening scene is a big emotional roller coaster. At the heart of the adventure, though, is Carl's love for Ellie, and that's why he wants to go on this journey. It's a great romance that still stands the test of time, even after her passing. That's not a spoiler because it happens in the first 5 minutes, and you've had years to see this movie. While Up is not one of my favorite Disney movies, it's still an excellent movie, and it's a great romance if you look at it from that perspective. It's a great romantic adventure. And in a sense, isn't that what romance is supposed to be? Going on an adventure with your best friend? Now I'm getting sappy? I guess it is really Valentine's Day, I guess. At number 2, we have the musical choice of the category, Singing in the Rain. I have yet to meet anyone that does not like this movie. Now guys, I'm including myself in this, we're not musical people. Generally. I know some guys that really like musicals, but by and large, most of the time when I hear musicals, if it's not made by Disney, I'm just like, nope. But Singing in the Rain is a nice film. It's just a genuine movie. And the thing is, it's a romance movie, but romance is not the most important part of the movie. Singin' in the Rain has one of the most unique plots for a romance, or just a movie in general, that I've seen, and it proves to stand the test of time primarily because of that plot. So the plot is that Gene Kelly plays this silent film star that's being more or less ushered into the era of sound, and so he has to adapt. Who's very, very famous for being silent, but now that he has to rely on his voice. How will that impact his future going forward? He had this gorgeous blonde co-star who was very attractive to look at, but when she opened her mouth, you were sent running for the hills because it's so high-pitched, shrill, and annoying. Insert the love interest, played by the one and only Debbie Reynolds, which, before this movie, the only thing I'd seen Debbie Reynolds in was Halloween Town. Yay, nostalgia! But Debbie Reynolds was actually a very good love interest in this, so they bring in Debbie Reynolds as an actress behind the scenes that they can dub in over this new girl. So what happens is a big cacophony of hilarity and music that it really needs to be seen for yourself. It's got great romance, incredible music and choreography because Gene Kelly, but the real showstopper of the film is Donald O'Connor doing Make 'Em Laugh. That is the song more than any other, well, besides that one that's in the middle that the movie's named after, that one's just okay. But Make 'Em Laugh more than anything else will make you laugh and make you smile on this Valentine's Day. Plus, it'll appeal to both parties. What is the #1 movie that appeals to both men and women that you can watch as an alternative on Valentine's Day, but yet still keep that romance intact? The Princess Bride! Woo! Yeah, I just cheered for The Princess Bride because The Princess Bride is that great. Besides a handful of others like Monty Python, or dare I even say Anchorman, name a movie that's more quoted than Princess Bride. Yeah, really, seriously, try it. Because Princess Bride is one of the most quoted and beloved cult classics of all time because of its characters, the story, and I would even make the case that it's the romance between Wesley and Buttercup. It's that over-the-top fancifulness that makes it work. As well as memorable characters like Andre the Giant, and I'm blanking on his name, but by far the coolest swordsman ever. And he looks like he could kind of be Jack Sparrow's father. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not even gonna go over the plot because I'm almost sure that you've seen this movie and you know what the plot is already. And that's why it stands the test of time, because it's almost a rite of passage for somebody to see Princess Bride. The romance is not over the top like it was in any Nicholas Sparks movie ever, or any Hallmark movie ever, but it's just quirky and fun. It takes a more light-hearted approach to romance, and it's those classic knight in shining armor approaches to a story, and that's tried and true time and time again. What do you guys think? What are your favorite movies to watch on Valentine's Day? Let me know in the comments below. And, as always, if you like what you see and you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, or find me on Facebook at MovieGuys17, or on Twitter at NMovieGuys17. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals.